Hi, my name is Chad Chavez, he, him, and I live at 7512 Clubfield Drive. First of all, I want to thank the HPCAC for the completion of their report. I know it was a tremendous undertaking. I appreciate all your work and all of your time spent. Thank you for the summary that we got tonight, and I look forward to staying up late like a new Stephen King novel just dropped. Their summary said what we've begged you all to hear for over a year. Now that the report is public, I'd like to reoffer to any of you what I offered about 300 days ago. My timeline on the permit changes, the rumor mongering allowed by HPD, and a review of the terrible intelligence gathering that the police chief presented to you. The point of this report was to restore trust in the community. Instead, we hear that HPD, Madison County, and ALEA blew it all off. If Chief McMurray was really in charge of the task force that assaulted these protesters, he's responsible for those sniper rifles. He's responsible for those rubber bullets. What you're establishing is the precedent that the police chief can invite all his friends into town to brutalize your constituents calling for police reform. And as long as he covers his eyes when it happens, so be it. The HPCAC saw body camera footage of HPD making light of deploying pepper spray, bragging about firing rubber bullets, making light of the cause of Black Lives Matter, making offensive remarks about the protesters, and saying that they weren't trained for the situation the chief put them in, and yet no signs of accountability. That's not a communication issue. That's not a training issue. That's cultural rot. Were there referrals to IA? Were officers who made racially insensitive remarks fired or sent to the implicit bias training that failed them in the first place? No one knows. No one will ever know. How is that supposed to rebuild trust? I also want to speak to a remark made by Council President seeking to excuse some of these findings. There was nothing unique about this protest, about the protest in this city, except for the police response. Even the supposition that political climate contributed to it is laughable. Mo Brooks spoke at a rally that preceded the storming of the U.S. Capitol, and not only was his Huntsville rally not subjected to snipers, you felt comfortable attending that rally. So the idea that, actually, I'd written something else before I heard these findings today, so I am going to address that one of the 3 people prosecuted had body camera footage of the police physically dragging him from his car to keep him there so they could arrest him when he was attempting to disperse. His engine was running, his lights were on. These are the kind of people that they prosecuted. So you can only imagine how flimsy the cases were that they were willing to excuse if they were willing to give up their rights. You shouldn't have to give up your right to sue to have the right to the First Amendment in this city. And that's what happened. I think that, frankly, all of those charges should be expunged because I think that what we've seen so far and what I expect you will find in these reports tonight is that this was contributed to by Police Chief McMurray and the HPD.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.